I use thermal imaging on a ghost hunt. Anybody? This is
cold.
Cold. Exactly. Good job. Most people will say it's heat. I'm like, no, ghosts create cold spots. What's wrong with you? Don't you watch TV?
So you know where the sewers are.
All right. You guys can see me in there. Orange, red, and yellow guy.
Yep.
So everything around me should be blue or black. So with that said, blue and black are our coldest areas in the camera, which makes me the hottest thing in the camera. Sorry, that's a bad joke. But anyway, I usually use that for my bridal parties. They go nuts. The wife hates it, but whatever. She's all good. But anyway, so what are we looking for in this guy? We're literally looking for the blue and black spots to move on their own. That's what we want. We want stuff to kind of move. We're always going to have blue and black spots, but we want to try to keep somebody in the picture at all times. Why? Because watch what happens when I leave the camera. That orange, red, and yellow is going to go somewhere else. So we want to try to keep our skin tone, which is obviously warmer than our very muggy temperatures tonight. We want to have that base temperature. So, Charles, you look pretty techie. We're going to go with that. It is the glasses. You're going to hold it horizontal all night long. The red square on there means that you're recording. If you accidentally tap it, please let me know. I have to splice video together for you. It's not fun to do, so please do your best not to hit the red square.
Hey, look, the car's hot.
It does record audio as well, which is another reason why I gave it to Charles, because he seems like he hasn't been talking for at least an hour, and he's probably got a lot to say. So we're going to see what else he has to say.
About 35 minutes.
That's it? That was the bet?
We were unlimited time.
Gotcha.
Good
Spirit
thing
boxes.
dinner's free.
We're going to be using several different types of spirit boxes tonight. The first one we're going to be using is going to, well, let me explain what they are, because some of you might not know. It's going to sweep through FM radio stations at a very quick rate. On your TV shows, it's the white static, the white noise that Zach Bagans tells you what BS he heard in the middle of it. We're going to be doing that in real time. Only mine is slowed down. Why is it slowed down? Because I want the radio chatter to come through, the song lyrics, the DJs, the commercials. That stuff is a 50-50 shot that we can actually have paranormal activity, paranormal message coming through. If you hear something, we definitely want to know what that is. The cool thing about this particular one, it records the entire radio sweep for us, and it records on mute without any background noise. So we're not going to know any questions that Amethyst is going to be asking on this device. It's all up to whatever questions that she has to tell me through, you know, the regular audio and or questions that I suggest to her at that particular location. Make sense? All right, let me set this guy up. Amethyst, this one is all you.
She looks like a ghost.
So,
I see a ghost.
You're right. I was shocked that you didn't say I was the most chatty one. I'm usually the one that gets that. You and I are going to get along so well.
I love you already.
I love you too.
I love you. I
there's
heart
one
you.
button to worry about. There's a wheel at the top.
You're going to learn to chop
the
them.
volume.
I'm not going to touch it.
Yes, you will.
Is that what you want me to touch?
That's the only thing I want.
The light just turned on.
I won't touch
Catch that?
anything but that.
Thank you. There you go.
The light doesn't
So
pick
the
up.
cross-reference, we'll be using the audio from that you're recording, that you started recording earlier, to cross-reference with this.
You got it.
All right.
Not to mention that thing, I'll know exactly when it started based on the camera that I started before that.
Perfect.
So I can match it up even further. This is another spirit box.
Yeah.
This one just does not record. This is normally one that is shared by 2 people. So, because Missy, I'm going to go with you on this one. I'm horrible with names, so if I'm wrong on a name, you guys have to tell me.
I respond to everything.
I've been called a couple things here and there.
I don't know why, but I could see that.
Right?
It'll work.
Sorry.
Yeah, there's a slight delay. His face is 102.
Missy, you also have one button. It is on the side of the ball speaker.
Yours is like 90,
And then you'll hold it
101.
down gently.
I'm hot.
on your mouth. Right at your mouth, that's 101.
Because my mouth is hot.
No.
I got a hot mouth.
Normally I have
Because you're
that
full of
partnered up
hot
with 2
air.
people, so that way the other person, whoever that may be, can help you verify what it is. So we're going to go through the rest of the devices and see who that person might be. The last spirit box. This one's a little different. Yes, it's on a phone. Yes, it's a phone app. Let me show you how this guy works real quick. First off, it's going to give us not a handprint in the middle of the screen. It's going to give us a word in the center of the screen from time to time. Kind of like your Ovilus if you guys watch the TV shows. It's going to save all those words to a list. Here's what I'm going to tell you about the list. 80% of it is absolute bullshit. It doesn't mean anything. It's meant to be a game and a hoax. The game we're playing with this is the word or phrase coming through from the app, or is it from a spirit? Does that make sense? Tina, also because you're chatty,
I'll take it.
you have 2 buttons to worry about. The calendar will take you to the list. You circle back. You don't hit anything else.
Okay.
At times, you don't have to tell me every single word that comes up. I will interrupt myself and say, by the way, Tina, where are we at with that list? That's when we'll kind of go through it real quick, and I'll let you know if any of that is part of the 20%. When we have something that's part of the 20%, I will always tell you why it's relevant in your data, and I'll always give you a backlink of where I got my information. It's not because I said so, it's because Britannica.org said so. Does that make sense to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
So, just to be clear on my job,
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I
Were
want
you
to
not
make
listening?
sure when the words come up, I don't say anything until you ask me.
Correct. Unless something is directly relative, like a
To what we're talking about?
Exactly.
Okay.
Like if we're talking about dead people and it says dead.
What you got for me? See, looking this way.
I'm trying to think. Who here is actually couples? Anybody here a couple?
These two.
Right there.
Just these two.
This too.
These two right here.
Those two.
These two.
Yeah, definitely.
Joe and
those.
Charles.
I have a set of devices that requires 2 people to work together.
Give it to the actual couple.
2 of you?
actual couple.
Game?
Okay.
All right.
Their enthusiasm is overwhelming.
I'm a little frightened.
Oh,
It's
we're
okay,
all
Kelly.
frightened.
We won't hold it against you.
We're all
Hey,
frightened.
speak for your damn self. I'm not scared of it. I've been waiting for this.
Yeah.
Still not
I know, I can totally, I'm like
I know, I'm
feeding
still
off of your
trying to-
excitement, Amethyst. I'm
I'm
loving
Try to get
it.
all this balanced out properly.
Hmm.
I think I can still do this. All right. These are fun, but they get Nick in a lot of trouble. They never go to kids under the age of, I'd say, 25. Because literally will get Nick in a lot of trouble.
20.
Oh, well, mentally I'm definitely.
Ooh.
Yeah, don't
Oh,
do that to
now
me.
you're
Try not to
interested.
get fun.
Ooh, I want
Yeah.
this.
That would mean you're definitely not getting it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
I don't want it. Get somebody else.
so the cool thing about these is we can't see the lasers from the pen to the ground until something passes through it. So
What?
how cool is that? Do you see the lasers?
Uh huh.
Where?
Right there.
On the ground?
On the ground, but
We
now,
want the ones here.
Oh.
that's cool.
Fine, I'll take care of it.
Nothing.
Second.
Nothing lit up, by the way.
Can we
Probably won't.
trade?
No.
I
The
want
next
Silence.
To next time?
Red squares.
Ooh.
Why do we have red
You know, I
squares?
could use that for painting my room.
I guess this too.
In the event we capture something right here, this has squares on it. So now we can put it in 3D software and you guys will have a full 3D view with measurements of what we actually caught in there. I've had this for almost a year and I haven't caught anything that the 3D software will recognize yet. I'm just being blunt and honest with you. Is this super cool to have? Yes. So, you seem like you were kind of like alright with this. This guy works on a toggle. You always want to keep it down.
But
This guy, you have to hold this button
Push is my
right
word.
here to be able to keep it on.
okay.
So, you don't want to keep them on at all times. Obviously, there's a lot of laser laws in Charleston. You will get Nick arrested.
Are there?
Push is my word.
are?
Push. Interesting. Push the button.
Yeah, because you're good at pushing
So-
people's buttons.
No, I told her to push the button. So, when I say lasers are cool here, lasers are cool in that
Bring it.
specific location. Lasers are strong enough to set off car alarms. I don't like to run with 9 lit people. Somebody gets left behind. Just gonna tell you, it's never fun. I've done it. So, why are those so cool and why do I need 2 people for them? Because, go ahead and point one of your lasers down for me. We cannot see the evidence until we're taking hundreds of pictures going through the lasers.
Huh.
If something passes by this, it's going to be so quick, we're going to miss it. By the time we get the camera ready, it's already going to be gone. It's that quick. So you're going to be taking lots of pictures.
You gotta push both buttons at the same time there, Kelly.
No, not necessarily.
No, they don't go together?
No.
They can.
They're
But here's what I tell you, and it's to see if anybody gets this. You don't want to cross your streams.
no.
Your buttons are pretty simple. Point and shoot, and the power button. So if in case it turns off after a few minutes of no activity, you're going to turn it back on. It's the big button, or the little button next to the big button.
How's that?
So I should have brought my GoPro.
She's like, here, let me light this up for you.
All right. Who's left?
Toto.
I'm left.
Wind.
Okay. EMF
Restaurant.
meters. But pretty much, you have to have them on something like this. TV, never. Hang on, we're getting there.
No.
That'll explain it first.
Remember, you got too excited. You can't have it.
That's right.
I don't want it.
That's what she said.
So, these, for example, are going to measure 3 different types of electromagnetic fields.
Wow, I think I almost clocked that car.
Yep. Gorgeous. Skinny street. Somebody's going to be Eddie West one day. first one's natural. It's not going to do anything. It comes from the earth. The second one is going to come from electronic devices. It's going to give a pulse, some kind of rhythm. We don't want that either. We want this thing to go absolutely erratic. Can you handle that?
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything, no hitting buttons, nothing.
Cool.
Quit looking at my toy. Liberal. Oh, yeah, you are.
We have a millimeter.
Oh, what now?
I'm getting there. Right before the horse, my friend.
The what? I didn't hear.
Millimeter. It's going to have 3 different types of measurements in here. The first one is going to be the same device that he has. That's your big numbers. 2.5 and higher, I'm going to get excited.
Oh.
The bottom number is ambient temperature. In case he finds something on his camera, we're going to be able to find exactly where that cold spot is coming from.
I can't move out of the camera light. I need a reference point. Oh, wow.
Last but not least, it has a REM pod built into it. What the hell is a REM pod? In the event something, you know?
I know.
Go ahead.
Yeah, anything that comes near it, gonna set it up.
It's going to set it off. You don't have to touch it.
Go Kelly. Go Kelly.
Right?
So
Go
we
Kelly.
don't use the REM pod all the time because it's super annoying for the audio. There'll be some places like when I tell the spirit boxes are good to go to like turn up their volume. That's when it's safe for you to pull up your REM pod.
What about all those lights that just went off?
That's from the REM pod. That's from me.
He was touching it.
So
He
you want to
touched
leave
those
this? You want to leave this little flap open for me so I can show you more about the buttons on the back. That
Is
one.
there something for Joe?
Yeah. I'm not done.
No, hot dog.
Do you know Joe?
Hot dog gets nothing.
I work with Joe.
I met you!
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes!
You are so gorgeous. I mean, pretty. I forgot. I'm not allowed to call you gorgeous.
Why not?
Joe gets my.
She
brand
got
new
really mad
device.
because I petted her on the head when I said it.
All right.
What is that?
This is like the coolest thing I have. You guys want to like?
Pay attention. Sorry.
All right.
We're just loving on each other.
You didn't realize you were running the bus tonight. So.
Full spectrum point of view camera.
What?
So quick demonstration. You guys should not be able to see me in that picture.
Nope.
If I can, it's going to be very little light. This helps us see the things that we can't see.
Oh,
with the
there you
naked
are.
eye.
Oh.
So full spectrum lighting. However, this is
I
going
could
to be
use that.
a point of view camera for most of the night. We're going to record in 2 locations. The files on this thing are giant. Not to mention, it eats up batteries like no tomorrow. So about halfway through, 3/4 of the way through, you and I will swap batteries. I have them in my bag.
Okay.
I'll tell you when it's okay to record. What I want you to do, because it is brand new, this is the 5th night I've had it out, I want you to play with the lights. This top switch is the one you want to worry about. The bottom one is night vision. I don't like to raise a whole lot of attention towards my groups because, let's face it, the other tour groups already hate me. This little guy right here has a red button on the top, so it's pointing that way. This top one is pointing this way. You're going to kind of see, I want you to play with it, give me some feedback.
Okay.
So you're going to hold it left-handed so that way your right hand is free to operate.
He likes to play with it.
Everybody has
It's
a
like your
device?
Xbox
Correct.
controller.
Wrong one.
Linger.
Hey, whoa.
Oh, you guys made my bad.
I
So,
mean, we are lingering.
I think it's called loitering, actually.
Could I make a prediction?
No.
If we have any paranormal activity, I think everybody's gonna notice, right? Or is it just one device that's gonna catch
not
it?
necessarily.
It might grab you, so you should run.
So I do have one rule.
That'd be good for
If
me.
there's a skeptic among you, I don't want to know who it is.
How
Why?
you mean a skeptic?
That you don't believe in ghosts, or that all of this is
Oh,
BS.
okay, okay.
It's
So,
that one.
reason why, let's say Joe's my skeptic. I'm going to focus on Joe all night long to try to prove to him that the paranormal lives in Charleston, and the rest of you are going to miss out. It's no joke. I used to ask where my skeptic was, and they would get the thermal imaging camera so I can hear all the bad things they have to say about me, and it made me really
Oh,
bad about myself.
that's
It was bad.
hilarious.
Yeah, so
That's terrible.
Oh man.
it is terrible. So I stopped asking, and I realized it's
Bring
way
it.
more fun when I don't have a device.
Ring.
Dude, bro,
bad.
commentate.
Also, how
Top
long?
one.
So that I
Holy
can,
cow.
I like
You
to know
understand
like
that?
time. How long is the tour?
It's going to probably go for 2 hours the way it's going right now.
Okay.
Can we get dinner too?
No.
Oh,
All right, so we start here. For
ice cream shop.
I know. Can we
Building
stop for
behind me.
alcohol?
Sorry,
What if we buy you a drink?
I tried, Kelly.
I
Kelly
mean-
asked.
Everybody here is
Kelly asked. I was
I
supporting her.
suspected it, to be honest.
What?
I
What?
had one drink.
That this would all happen and I wouldn't get a chance to talk.
What are you
Oh,
talking about?
why? Because you met me first. Is that why?
Yes.
Yes.
No, because you all work together. That's
No, I don't.
I don't work with these people.
I don't work with this guy.
I work with this
Alright.
one.
the building behind me. It is haunted.
I've never met Kelly before.
Yes.
What? What are we looking at?
Listen to me.
So the building behind me is haunted. It used to be known as Big John's. If you're a local from here, you probably remember that. Yes. So Big John was a football player for the 1947 New York Giants. You guys don't live here, so this is where all the details are going to come into play. Oh, that's right. About in the 70s.
Close. Yeah, no, it's your 88.
Yeah, it did close.
Should I yell out his
No.
words? Okay.
Are we like going over where we were born or what? What do we do?
Charles, just do the thing.
Do the thing.
Big John used to sit in the back of the bar, and he would tell the bartender if the cadets coming over from the Citadel, which is about a mile from there, if they were old enough to drink to him. So one night, two guys come in, they're not old enough to drink. Big John tells the bartender, get them the hell out of here. So they leave, pretty angry. They come back the next night, and they try to steal the cash register from the front of the bar. So Big John sees what's going on, starts pounding these guys into the floor. Shots go off. John gets hit in the neck, and the bullet lands in the wall. John gets up, he goes back to the bar, tells the bartender to get him another beer, and to go get the guys on the floor an ambulance. First off, nobody died in that story, and second, John's the one that got shot, and he's the one who got up. So, what's haunting the place? It's the bullet hole. It's allegedly still here. When I say allegedly, it's only because they're renovating the place as we speak. I have seen it. I have had EMF detection in there from the devices you guys are holding from time to time. That's a good thing. But people that sit in the front of the bar tend to get a little queasy, nauseous, headaches. I bring this story up on purpose, which is another reason why we start here. It's kind of a heated warning. If anybody feels any of those types of symptoms tonight, I don't know how it's going to affect you. You have to let me know so we can get you out of the area immediately. There are things in my bag, and the things that, you know, your bag has been, or the devices you're holding have been hanging out with. It keeps all of the paranormal activity pretty calm. Active but calm, if that makes sense. So, again, I don't say any of this to scare you, because technically it's not a scary tour. You guys are in control of what's going to happen tonight. You guys have the devices. So, let's get our minds off our own health, shall we? Nobody wants to think about getting sick on my tour. So, this place behind me also made a big earthquake here in 1886. If you didn't already know that, you do now. This is apparently where the first death occurred. The mantle that you guys see in the middle of the building also goes around the front. A piece of that broke off, struck somebody in the back of the head, and killed him. Apparently, you can see his ghost in the middle of his Bay Street in the middle of the night. I say all of this apparently because I don't have any proof of it. It's just kind of folklore tales, and it's a great segue story, so you're not thinking about getting sick on my tour. So, are you guys ready to go ghost hunting?
Let's do it.
All right, you guys are gonna follow me this way.
Nick,
Yes.
record button is the big red one on top.
Yes.
Okay.
You clearly weren't listening when he was
Make
giving
sure
you
I
a
was-
dissertation.
He was distracted by me.
Oh, I almost walked into the pole. Hey, so
I'm asking interactive questions.
so question, what am I looking for again?
Cold spots around.
Cold spots around people? Napo.
Just cold
There's
spots
a
that
cold
move.
spot down the
Charles.
middle of your
Cold
back.
spots that move. Cold,
Cold
spots that move.
Why are you yelling? Missy's bag, you can see it chopping her body up.
My tour last November. No, actually, I just hired one of them as my co-host for the podcast. She starts in October. So, yeah, they're actually trying to recruit me into that sector, but they do houses, and that's where things, just shit gets way too personal, and I just don't do houses. I'd rather,
Question, do I push the button? Or did he already push the button?
Oh, you pushed it.
I would like to learn more methods,
It's not counting.
because there are a million different methods. Where are,
Hey, it's not recording.
Do I push this button?
is it a circle?
Square.
It's a square.
Leave it a square, don't worry about the timer.
Okay, perfect.
Alright, so
You
all
can
of your
chop it,
devices that
okay?
you guys have, I'm going to be working with you, all of you, one-on-one, with all of your devices first here in this location, so you have a bit more gist of what your devices do. That's supposed to be a quick 10-minute, let's get the devices in your hands, so that way we can actually move on. Your entire time with me, I want you to think it's kind of like a ghost hunting 101. This is level 1. So this place is very simple. Let me give you the quick history. This is obviously a big red barn where they hold horses for your carriage rides. Okay, you guys can probably smell the ponies. I can't because I'm here every night.
Meh.
So, the only history that's here. Who that was.
Oh,
Your wife?
So,
oh
if
April's
anybody can name
funny.
that movie, I'll be highly impressed.
What was it?
It says, I'm not a witch, I'm your wife. So, the only history
Oh,
here.
Princess Bride.
Good job. The horses that are in here. This is where we held horses that delivered milk and eggs to the residents of Charleston. So, that's really the only history. Not to mention, we're still pretty close to Big John, so we can get things from him or his teammates or anybody
He's
that's
moving.
related to. Good. It's about time. So sometimes it starts when we first get here, sometimes it waits till we leave. We just never know. So, let's talk about those spirit boxes for just a minute before I kind of set you guys free on the spirit boxes. This is not TV. This is not, it's somebody here. Because first off, if you guys get a radio station and you hear the word no, guess what? Somebody's here. They answered you. We're going to stay away from yes and no questions all night long. I'm looking for details, as I'm sure you guys are too. We don't want that very vague answer. Kind of like most of the 80% that's going to come out of Tina's list. Same principle. You guys can all agree that the barn is red, correct?
Yes.
Burgundy.
I'll take your word for it.
So, red. Now, there could be other, if somebody's here with me, tell me what color the barn is. Obviously, you're going to listen or look for the color red, but they might not get the opportunity to use the word red from a commercial DJ or song lyric. They might give you something else that's specifically red, like blood, heart, a fire truck. Those things are specifically red. It's not going to be shirt or shoes because those things can be different colors. We're looking for those clues. That's what this is about, is putting all of those clues together. So when I do my own investigations, I'm not looking for somebody's name. I'm looking for somebody's birthday because it's a number. It's a lot easier to find, right? So in the event you don't get an answer with what color is the barn, if somebody's here, tell me what's inside the barn. Now you just opened it up.
What year did you die?
I can't prove that unless it's somebody from Big John's team. So that means I need to know that it is somebody from Big John's team. Now let's continue on with what's inside the barn. We have anything related to horses. We have hay, stable. They were draft horses. That's their breed. They delivered milk and eggs. Other terms for milk and eggs are protein and calcium. It happens here often. In the event you hear a 2-digit number, probably a jersey number from somebody with Big John. However, I don't get excited until I get a first name or something else related to that specific person. You have to remember, I have a lot of resources that I have to be able to look all this stuff up with. So for example, if you hear the number 40 and you get the word art on your list, number 40 was Art Faircloth on Big John's 1947 roster. I get excited about that.
Yeah.
You see where I'm going? I don't need just art because I don't know what it means. I don't know what number 40 means until they're together. So, spirit boxes, the only thing I'm going to ask is that you're going to go up towards the front of the barn, keep your spirit boxes audio to you and the person listening with you only. The horses don't like the white noise, they will kick the barn. If you wanted a jump scare, that's the way to get it. Lasers, so you're the only one with lasers, you want to definitely keep them down and definitely not on this building. Again, you will spook those ponies. I try to make friends with some of the touristy people down here. I don't have many, but this is one of them. So they tell me things that might actually happen. I still stop by and say, hey, how's any ghost activity going on? You know, and they don't record anything. But have some fun with the spirit boxes. I am going to work with the cameras first, and then I'm going to jump to
Kenny.
Sorry, I'm not trying
Kenya.
to be a
I'm
creeper.
going to jump to Kenya afterwards so I can show her more about her device. As far as the EMF detectors, find some hotspots. Help these spirit box people know when to stop and start asking questions. So, spirit box is up. Go have some fun. Give me 5 minutes to wrap up these cameras so I can show them some more tactics. And I'll meet up with you guys in just a minute. Stay within the confines of the lot. Don't go anywhere else.
Run!
That includes you. Scram.
Oh, listen here.
Yep, you got it. I'm in charge here. All right, camera dudes.
I was on it.
Quite the group you're by.
I know.
All right. So, are you getting the gist of why I want somebody in the camera at all times?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, in this particular lot, I just want you to get used to the different types of material. You have
Yeah.
wood, foliage, brick, all kinds of things in there. Just get used to how things kind of fluctuate as you're going along. I'm glad you asked about the timer already. Just ignore it. It doesn't matter. It's
Okay.
all about that red square.
Pretty neat.
It is. It's honestly, it's my most kick-ass tool, except for this new guy that I'm still learning about. However, it only captures evidence for me about once a quarter. I just need it on record at all times, so that way you guys have something else to watch and something. I am going to skim through it. I'm not going to watch the whole thing.
Right.
I'm going to skim through it. Again, watch that light. There's
Jackass.
office people in there. They still might be closing up. But yeah, I mean, you're basically looking. So
I'm
when
just scanning.
Yep. When you find something that is questionable, we might also see thermodynamics in reverse. What the hell does that mean? That means if you see something heat up quickly, that means a cold spot's being generated nearby because you can't create temperature. It just fluctuates back and forth. And I caught that several times, which is super cool, which is not as convincing as a cold spot that looks like a person. In the next location, I will show you specifically the data that, or a piece of evidence that I have from that camera, and I show it in the next location because it happened in that location.
Okay.
So again, go have fun scanning through that with you.
Dude, it's all crazy.
Like you.
No, that's awesome right there.
Right? Do you see that? Uh-huh. You're taking that.
Oh, he's just putting the camera.
I'm not like boss. You're doing awesome with the lights, girl.
Anything?
Yeah, her purse is cold.
So Ella came up on here when he was talking about names of people, but I haven't had it back yet.
Ooh, say that name again.
Ella.
Oh, oh.
Ella. It hasn't gone to red since I said Ella. 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 Ella.
How about you network?
French. Ella French. Ella French.
Bacon.
Ella French.
Maybe it's hella French.
Hell French.
Ella French. Ella French. Right, that's fitting to one name, right? Let's say Tina.
Texting's way better. It doesn't put your life up, but it doesn't stop. Yeah. No. And if you're into astral projection or if you ever want to get into it, that's fair. It's a little weird. I do a lot of dream work, so it's kind of my shtick because it's the place where I feel safe because I can control everything.
Wait, you're into what?
Dream work, like astral projection, I shift reality.
That's that guy.
Other different stuff.
Well, do you think I should pee?
You know
Like,
this is recording that, right?
oh, really?
Last time I did it, I manifested 120, which was out of fucking nowhere.
Dude, I'm not there.
I mean, I manifested a lot of cars.
Ella French. Ella French.
So I'm always looking for rhythms. I'll watch it for like 15 to 30 seconds just to kind of see if there is a pulse or a rhythm. If it, even if it's a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, I'm looking for
Ella
anything.
French. Are you there, Ella French?
Maybe it's Helen French.
No, Ella. Ella French.
Elephant.
That was the word that came up when you were talking about names. Ella popped up. Ella
French
French.
might actually, I think.
Ella was the one
Nope. There you go.
before it. You were saying, hey, there's names of people here, and then I said Ella, and then French came up, and I said
And this thing
Ella,
just gets
Ella
bounced.
French, Ella French. That's what I was thinking.
Yep, just trying to creep up on you.
Or vice versa.
I'm using you as a heat reference.
Let's take out the whole screen.
It's kind of weird, like I'm No, I just put you in a little part of it.
That's so weird. I know you need one that you can like slide the thing back in. Okay. Where did yours go?
Oh my gosh. Oh, the jokes I could come up with this thing. Never mind. I don't know you well enough yet.
Go ahead. What?
Well, so when she was facing me, she had a cold
So
crotch.
does it do something here? Like something new?
See?
That's crazy.
Yeah, so like your purse lights up cold, his lower pockets were cold, or lower part of his shorts.
Redox.
Hey Joe, you got a warm spot in your pants. look at hers is cold.
Yeah. This is not a joke. It's really
It's
It's
happening.
Ella.
No, it's your crotch.
It's Ella
Yeah.
French. Oh, threat. Threat just came up.
Yeah, you're threatening me.
And it's going higher than ever. Threat. You're a threat.
Ella is a
It
threat.
says threat. What if it's Ella French?
What if Ella is a threat?
Sentence?
And look how low it is. Rhett was way up here.
Sometimes you can make it go like blue, purple, red, whatever. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted it to do. Now, it's a little jostled up because I just put my hands through the EMF meter that's detecting if something's nearby. There are buttons on the left-hand side. Do you feel them where your fingers are? On the very bottom button, in the event it goes wonky like what it's doing right now, will reset the EMF meter. On the right hand.
Oh, right here. I'm sorry.
I think I clicked it. Yep. The very bottom. So you hold it in until it kind of resets itself. So basically what just happened is there's an EMF field around it right now. So make sure if you're noticing something is breaking the EMF. What you hit makes it break.
I just feel like a creepy cameraman.
So again, see you hearing anything on there?
Got baby twice.
Okay. Interesting.
Baby.
Did we lose Tina? Did she bail?
She had to go potty.
Okay. All right.
She didn't wear her
Record
Depends.
everything. We're gonna go learn some real history.
Tell me, only pull it down.
Oh, there was sound.
Tina?
Tina Turner.
Tina Turner. Yeah, I could understand Tina Turner coming up on here.
Speaking of Tina, where did she go?
She forgot her Depends in the car. I'm over here.
Anything? What color is the barn?
The barn is blue
I'm asking.
on my screen.
I'm asking. Whatever this one's moving.
Oh, we're going that way.
This is going.
Maybe it smelled the horses.
I don't know, but
This is like if we were playing Call of Duty. Yeah. With a thermal on. Right here, what? By the sewer?
oh, this thing is just going crazy. Right here is going crazy.
Hey, Napo's thing's going off there.
Hey guys. Okay.
It's a bad.
It said bad.
It's a bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put this down.
Oh. Did you have to flag her down?
Well, she turned around already.
Damn it.
So I feel a lot of things. I'm not ever worried about it. I'm pretty used to it. I was walking around Fort Sumner earlier and I felt a lot of things.
That's right. You guys did go to something.
Yep.
Where was the invite, Kelly?
So,
Didn't you get it? It was in your email.
Yes, I did not.
then why'd you ignore it?
All right.
You got the Valley Girl thing going on there.
All right, guys. Let's move in a little bit. We got a little history to learn before we start diving into this. Tina, welcome back. We kind of waited on you. I dragged my feet a little bit.
Yeah, Tina, you're
You are
holding us
super
up.
quiet, man.
He is.
Okay. All right. So welcome to yet another parking lot, downtown Charlotte.
Yes.
Told you, this is not your typical. This is place used to be this. Let's go ahead and turn the REM pod part off. Keep the spirit boxes down as I get through this history part, and we'll kind of get into what actually happens here. So first off, if you guys don't know where to park downtown, by the time you're done with me, you got bigger issues than I can help you with. So good luck, because we're going to hit at least 2 more lots. This place used to be the Charles and Eliza Pinckney Mansion. It sat in the front of this lot, facing East Bay Street. Eliza's garden was lined up with that left tree and came all the way across, and we are standing where the slave and servant quarters would have been. So, a couple of weird things go on here. You need to know the history first. Eliza and Charles had a son named Charles, had a nephew named Charles. The son and the nephew were signers of the Constitution for South Carolina. Some of you are on vacation. The rest of you, that's a big deal for us. But no tour comes here because there's nothing to see. Nobody wants to talk about politics, so we're going to get away from that. Eliza's way cooler anyway, and she's the one that likes to come through. Eliza married Charles at a young age.
Woohoo!
First thing let me tell you is that this is not a place where I'm going to give you questions like what color is George Washington's white horse, like what we did over there with the red barn. You will get the answers from your spirit boxes. So you can ask what that age was when she got married to Charles. I will tell you Charles was over double her age, if that gives you any kind of clue. So, not going there yet. So,
I assume.
That was the first number that popped in my head. So
it's wrong.
let me know. Okay, here we go.
So, with that said, she got married to Charles because her father over in England thought he was
22,
dying.
but she's 23. Sorry.
He thought he was dying. He wanted to see all his kids one last time. She didn't think he was dying. She got married and stayed here. This is the 1740s, colonial times. There's no such thing as citizenship. So getting married didn't give her a green card. She said, Dad, I'm not going anywhere. It's kind of what happened. She was right. Dad did not die right away. He starts sending over gifts from England. Eliza was into botany. She experimented with plants a lot. One of those things that he sent over was the plant and seeds of indigo. You guys live here. Indigo is pretty prominent here. Now, indigo was already in Charleston from the Gullah culture. Those were our slaves that came over straight from Africa. She had slaves that were part of this culture. She learned from them how to keep this stuff cultivated in our weird temperatures. It's not always hot. It gets cold. So she had to learn from them, and then she moved the experiment over to Sneed Farm in Mount Pleasant. Created a cash crop. It was a good thing because the rice plantations were going downhill. She just capitalized on the indigo. She calls Dad up, not really, because it's the 1740s, and says, I need to be able to sell this stuff. By the way, indigo is a plant that makes blue dye that makes our blue jeans blue. So, Amethyst has some on now. So,
Unfortunately.
she calls Dad. She can now sell this stuff overseas. Think of the color royal blue. It's made of indigo. Think of the Civil War. The Northerners wore blue coats. Indigo. Confederates wore gray coats. Less indigo. It just keeps going. I can keep going all night about indigo. So, I'm just touching a hair on what she's done for the colonies. But let's talk about the weird facts about Eliza, which gets you guys into your questioning. Obviously, you can ask how old she was when she got married. You can ask how old Charles was when they got married. Ask anything you want to about her death. How old she was, where did she die, what did she die from, where is she buried, and what president was a pallbearer at her funeral. Usually people go after the president's question first, just because it's pretty dominant. She loves to brag. Let's see, you can ask anything about the mansion. It's obviously not here. Ask what happened, what year that happened, those kind of things. The children, you already know she had at least one son named Charles. I gave you that at the beginning. If you're going to ask about the children, tread lightly. We already had the word baby. Who heard baby? Missy, you heard it twice? Okay, we already heard the word baby. There is a tragedy among a baby that if you poke the bear, all activity stops. You can ask how many boys, how many girls, how many total, and get some names. Leave it alone. You start poking that bear, it's not just here that the activity will stop. It's going to red. It's going to be throughout the night. I don't know what kind of dominance Eliza has over the half mile we're going to cover, but it happens often. Somebody gets a little too curious, and I know it because there's nothing coming through. So just leave it alone. If she wants to talk about it, which we have a start, I'll kind of gauge to see what else is going along with that. I'm not convinced yet that they came from here. I think that about covers enough questions to get you guys started. Oh, here's another fun fact. Eliza was the second wife named Eliza from Charles, back to back. They both go by their maiden name, which starts with the letter L. That's all I'm going to give you on that one. So, lasers are safe in here. Cameras. People get weird about us filming their cars. You guys all work, some of you work at a car dealership. think how you would feel about somebody filming your car.
I don't know shit.
They don't know what we're doing. I don't like to be screamed at and paying tickets.
It's insured.
So, that's nuts that you're getting that much activity over there and you're not moving at all. So, what's your regular EMF look like? The big red number? Yeah.
1.8.
0.8. Interesting. So, have some fun. Spread out in here. Lasers, again, on the cars. Just be careful. So, again, you guys should all be kind of working together on there. And your hearing things are ready for you. That's the part of the job we have in here between you and Missy. Because your ears aren't trained to listen to white noise all the time. So, the more ears we have on it, the better. The nice thing is yours is recording. So, I'll be able to verify in the morning. So, I'm going to check you guys. Well, I can't check you guys on it. But, this is normally where I check everybody in on all the websites that they book their tickets for. But I'm just going to do some other things. I'm going to bounce around with all of you again. What was the question?
I went up to 5.
You went to 5? This is a place where I've seen that go all the way up to 116. Now, the other one you have only goes to 25. If that gives you kind of a gist of what I'm looking at here. So, let's spread out. Let's see
What's up,
what we can figure
Liza?
out from here. I want to take a look at you worthless. So, let's get those
How
spirits
goes
out.
it? Liza, what's happening?
Yeah, like, honestly, I was just like, I don't know. I was just like, weird.
Keep going.
Right ones tonight, maybe.
I want answers. I need it in print.
He's lighting up red.
Who's lighting up red?
His little chingadero was up.
Oh, I thought you meant like somebody on the screen.
Oh no, sorry.
Oh, let me show you some evidence.
I'm an observer, so I like to look around and all kinds of stuff.
It's going crazy, by the way.
I see that. We're watching you.
Okay.
I don't see you being assaulted. Maybe she likes you.
Where the sun sets awesome.
I can't prove that. Any things I can prove? I mean, you don't have a spirit box with you unless somebody near you has.
Yes.
She has one.
She's one of the people I haven't really followed up with.
What
yet.
color was the house?
It's a good question. The only photos I have are in black and white.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
You guys are killing it.
I was thinking outside the box. That's my job. Come up with creative solutions.
I would like to know.
So I used to work at, but now I work at Mercedes.
Gotcha. This actually occurred right up in that corner. Just so you know what we're looking at. That's obviously the wall.
Mm-hmm.
See the two living people walking past? Because they're orange. We're going to find the dead people. They're going to go the opposite way and they're going to be like blackish in color. Right about there.
Oh, what the?
So,
Oh, wow.
that's the same. Oh, yeah. Definitely get you going
Push
on
the
recording.
button.
Yeah, gotta hold it
Good
down.
job, short bus.
Hold. Nope. Oh, you're flashing now. Good. I wait for the flash. So I get firemen and mechanics on here all the time, you know, because they're just traveling through. I've had, I don't know how many phone calls with these guys, sending them the video, emails back and forth. They analyze the shit out of that video for me that I just showed you to verify it. It's not a car going by. You can see two heads, definitive, and they are black, and somebody is in view the whole time. So I have other pieces of evidence. I just haven't clipped them out yet because I just have been swamped with school and buying new cars apparently. So
Baller. It's okay. That TV was expensive. You can thank Jackass
How
for that
many
one.
people live here? Okay. How many people lived in the house?
Liza and Liza. And she was 22 when you got married. Probably 5 years?
Oh, hey, over there.
Over here. Were
Yeah.
you getting crazy?
Yeah, we actually got a couple of numbers. I asked questions and it gave me a bunch of numbers.
What number? Was it 22?
24.
Mine, you told me I was right. I think she was here when she was 22.
I'm with her.
Well, I said, how many people live here?
So 24.
For 24. And then I said, how many people actually live in the house? And I said 8.
Really?
So, I don't know.
Violence.
What?
Yeah.
Ooh, and she went high.
Right,
That was the
right.
highest one, right?
On
They were
violence?
murder.
Yeah.
And you said accident. Thing. You said she died.
Definitely.
Are we standing in your living room?
Yes, this is your living room. Maybe. This was the living room. Did something happen?
Is this your bedroom?
She went silent. Nothing. Not a word.
Nothing. Mine stopped.
Okay, so this is the living room.
Or is it the bedroom and she got...
No, she went silent in the bedroom. She doesn't want to talk about
So this is the living room. Jewelry.
any jewelry. Famous items.
Who lost their jewelry here?
I don't like to give you guys false positives. So, the job's important. And lasers are always fun to play with anyway. But this way you guys get to kind of tinker around with it, called parentlessing. I normally had like 2 or 3 different groups in one, 2 or 3 different parties in one group. So everybody gets a spirit box. Just so happened we only had 2 groups tonight, so I was like, how am I going to divide this up?
Very cute. Well, and I figured if we're someone who's asking questions and having this stuff, then we have a better chance of catching it.
Exactly right. So, are you hearing anything yet? Over here?
Not anything of significance.
There's
Probably turn it up just a hair.
behind the escape, there was plenty of activity and whatnot. And then over there to the right of the Xterra.
Okay.
Sorry, the silver car.
Okay.
Behind that silver car and the white car, about where they come together.
In that corner there?
Yep, there was a little bit. They were all asking a bunch of questions. I got some numbers and stuff.
I'm down. I've just been wandering around the little safe quarters area.
It was like right over here where this...
Right here?
Yeah, they were all standing like right in here, and it was all going crazy.
Do you have any specific questions? Ask them.
We asked if it was the bedroom, and she went quiet, but they were talking about living room and jewelry.
So I asked how many.
What room was here? What room was right here where I'm standing?
And then her little thing said violence. Her little thing said violence.
Was this a violent room?
location-wise, I'm pretty sure this is either living or dining room, like just where it is.
Ooh,
relative to
was
everything.
this the dining room?
It's not going to answer a yes or no question.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, he said avoid yes or no questions at all costs.
Oh, man. I should know this. I'm in sales.
So we got some numbers. Gabo got some numbers.
How many people were in the dining
I said
room?
how many people live here? I said 24.
Heard that.
And how many people actually live in the house?
So, I mean, just at any given time, this is the picnic family. Very transient house. So they would have had visitors and family here. Lots of people moving through this house. Lots of people staying here. And they're passing through. So those
I forgot your name. What's your name?
Richard.
Richard.
nothing. There's no records of
They
it.
called you die.
They do.
Jump off the balcony or nothing.
Was it like the Winchester widow?
Did the ceiling fall? From an earthquake.
During the earthquake or after the earthquake. Like something.
Because I asked that and it just keeps jumping.
Yeah.
It is.
And the word ceiling came up on here.
Okay.
When
I want another clue. The ceiling by itself means nothing to me. I want another clue to tell me, was it an earthquake? Somebody jumped. Like, I want
we
that
asked,
extra clue.
we asked earthquake.
Did the chandelier take
we
you
asked
out?
Earthquake, and we asked if someone jumped.
Oh,
Respectfully,
shit.
though.
Oh, it's not moving.
Horizon, negative. Jacket, valley, shop.
How bad was the hurricane?
Well, the ceiling just came up, so
Yeah.
I want you guys to also remember that when you guys are asking questions, we have 5 points of audio and 5 points of communication. That answer can go anywhere. So if I say, hey, Eliza, how old were you when you got married? We got my audio, we got Charles's audio on his camera, and we have 3 spirit boxes. Okay. That can go anywhere.
Okay.
A lot of times, if I have a small group of 2, I'll use a spirit box and I'll kind of like separate it.
Oh, no, my
into
hands
2 and say, hey, guys, tell me how many people I brought with me.
It's just since the light is
I'm waiting
moving
for
that
the
it's
number
dark
2.
out, so all you see is
dude,
it's shaking a little
something
bit.
related to the number 2. And then, or if they hear it on their spirit box, then it's proof. I asked here, you got the answer. It happens all the time. So again, when you guys all these questions are asking, it could spark anything to get your answers. We just don't know. So like, kind of go through the data and kind of give you, here's the hotspots that will be captured. Your device is like mind-boggling right now. Just so you know.
And when you go up to the front box, it goes one first.
Why?
In the living room.
There's a reason for that one over there.
Where's the living room right there?
This would have been a meeting room. Over there is the parking meters. It's gonna go crazy. They're coming up out of the sidewalks.
But we asked her if this was a living room or a bedroom, and nothing happened on bedroom, but she went crazy on living room. The device went crazy.
What happened in the meeting room?
This would have been more of where she greeted her guests. So kind of like a meeting room.
What happened in the sitting room?
Back in the 1700s.
Okay.
Did they poison the tea and crumpets?
Making those times.
Oh, like the parlor.
I'm up. Oh, sorry. That was a yes or no. My bad. Nope. That's a yes or no question started.
Does Big John ever come over here and visit?
Do you like Big John? Nope. That's a yes or no question.
How much do you like Big John?
There you go. How much do you like Big John? Wrong pocket. Rape, assault, battery. What makes you sad?
Did something happen in the car?
What makes you happy in the meeting room?
Ceiling fall in the parlor. Something happened with the ceiling in the house.
You know, if you start the question with did, that's a yes or no question, right?
Can you tell me how the ceiling fell in the house? Is it possible?
Oh,
for you to tell me if something, well, what happened in the parlor. How did it make you feel getting married so young? To a
Is it
man
me or
that
did
was
that
twice
screen
your
just
age?
jump?
It did.
Like zoomed in on her, didn't it?
So you mean improve my questions? My questions didn't say that.
Who was marrying someone twice your age?
How did it improve meeting people in the room?
If this is the parlor, is there somewhere else that we should go feel? Is there somewhere else that we should, where else should we go? In the house, Liza. Okay, cool, man. I wonder if she would even understand, right? Like, probably not. She'd be like,
She's hip and modern.
yeah, she might be getting like the lingo down.
How many plants did you have, Eliza?
They're aware of us and they're aware
What's happening?
of the terminology.
Liza, how many plants did you have in the parlor?
How big was the garden? How many bedrooms and bathrooms were in the house?
I'll pull you guys over this way. Get you guys some answers.
Text 1326 to 797979.
Just so you know, he would have been 59 when he died.
Oh.
So your number 56 doesn't have any relevance yet. So we're getting some Spanish coming through on Missy's. So, yeah, it's weird.
Liza.
Very
We
weird.
speak Spanish.
I know we have a ton going on with that right now, but it's very. Let me turn off the REM pod part. Perfect. Yeah,
Turn it
click
off, Canadian.
the little white button in the back. Just click it back out again. Perfect. You got it. All right. So answers. Let's get you guys some answers. What are you guys most curious about?
How old was she?
When she got married or dead?
Both.
Married, 22. Charles, 45. So Tina did have an intuition of the number 22. You just don't have any proof of it from your devices. So let's go into Eliza's death. So she was 70 years old.
Holy
Wow.
crap. That's old for that
1793
period of
is
time.
when she died in Philadelphia, which is where she's buried. She's not even buried. That doesn't
Interesting.
answer the question of why we don't go to cemeteries. Y'all ain't hanging out where you're buried after you're gone. You're going to the places you love. Well, the name of the tour is Stories in the Cemetery. You don't believe how many phone calls and bad reviews I get because I didn't take somebody to a cemetery.
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
Yeah.
We're one of those people named Jada.
No, to my knowledge. I try to erase those people from memory. Anyway, so she died up there. Are you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
From breast cancer.
Wow.
I want you guys to stop and think about that. 1793, breast cancer. There's no such thing as cancer. We're going off her medical records. 9 out of 10 credible websites will tell you she died from breast cancer. So, guesses on the president, now that you guys know what year she died? 1793?
Nope. No.
It was Civil War, buddy. 1860s.
Yeah.
All right. Washington.
Madison.
I was gonna say
I
that'd
was
be
gonna
one of
say
the first
Washington.
ones based on the math.
That was my first intuition whenever he was talking about
George
presidents.
Say
Washington.
what you're
He was
thinking.
in Philadelphia.
I want to know what
Sorry.
you're thinking, Tina.
It was an honor for him to be able to carry her to her grave because of the things that she did for her 13 colonies. Words that I'll get wrapped around George Washington. And by the way, George Washington wasn't in my tour guide book kind of thing. This was stuff I learned from the tour. So I'll get wood, cherry, apple, Martha, Any guesses on why I get the word wood and I get excited?
Yeah, it's wooden teeth.
Oh, that was a bad analogy, by the way. I won't go there. But yeah, it was his teeth. So, I'm the only one that caught that right away. Except for Charles, I'm sure he was laughing in his head.
Oh, there's a lot going on up here, bro.
So, those are things that I would be like, yes, this is definitely related to George. But let's talk about George. I told you there were 3 Charleses. There was 2 Elizas, right? Eliza Lucas Pinckney that went to Indigo, Eliza Lane Pinckney that was the insignificant first wife. And I only say it that way because I have one of those. You guys caught that joke?
Understood.
So,
Hey, welcome to the club.
So, right? Did I? I'm not bitter. Let's talk
No,
about
you're
the
better
kids.
off, bro.
There was obviously Charles, but then there was Thomas, who was a leader in the Battle of Camden. I've had that term come up on the spirit box here, the Battle of Camden.
About Deborah.
No. Thomas actually, when he came back from the war, he had his leg shattered. So anything related to a leg and being hurt will normally show up here as well. Then there was baby George that did not make it. The baby is also lost. There's no grave, there's no headstone. The baby died after birth. We don't know if the baby was days or weeks old. So the death certificate basically states the same month, the same year, birth and death. The baby was named after Eliza's father. Do you remember what Eliza's maiden name was?
Yeah.
Nope, that was the first one. Lucas. So baby George was
Lucas
named
Oil.
after her father, which would make her father
George Lucas.
George Lucas. Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy to remember. Movie buff, sorry. Then we had the one daughter, Harriet. Harriet actually married in Horry. Myrtle Beach is in Horry County, to give you guys kind of a reference. So again, there wouldn't have been a car ride to go see her daughter. There would have been a lot of letter writing. All of those letters were published, so I do get a lot of things wrapped around letter writing as well. Ink, paper, pen, all of those type of things. I think a bat just flew by, just so you guys know. I recognize him. But the mansion. One last thing. Here's, you guys were asking about the damn ceiling and getting me all worked up about that.
Yeah.
The mansion caught fire in 1861 from the Great Fire of 1861. This was about 70 years after Eliza's death, but obviously the house would have still been in the family. This particular fire just went from Peninsula Coast to Peninsula Coast. The building was just in the way. The only pictures we have of the building are after the fire, where there are, you could see into the house. So there's no ceilings, but there are floors. So just kind of a weird.
So there's no ceilings.
That's what I was waiting for, was fire, heat, anything related to flame. 61 would have made more sense. Maybe I can get that out of the spirit boxes, but again, Missy's is not recording, so we're waiting on Napo to actually translate. So if she's getting more Spanish out of hers.
¿Tú no entiendo nada?
I think 18 years of Homeland Security would have picked it up.
¿Por qué tú no entiendo nada?
Makes sense.
Magazine.
Magazine makes sense. And you'll know why once we get there.
The powder magazine blue. Like the Arizona.
Yep. We're gonna end actually.
Hey, Cumberland.
Add
There's
the powder
some
magazine.
weird, there's weird things in the King and Queen Street garage when I used to work over there. Door slamming.
That's crazy.
So we
Your
can stop
lenses
your
are so
recording.
cool.
From here, crash. So from here, we're gonna go to Lodge Alley. A couple of things along the way. Here, box, you guys can actually listen for the two of you. You guys can actually listen for names. I'm not gonna tell you which names or why. I'm not gonna tell you what gender. So we're gonna go with that. I'll explain it once we get to Lodge Alley. Your EMF meters. So your EMF, they're gonna go nuts because of the parking meters along the way. I don't want any false positives. The ghosts are following us. No, they're not. It's the parking meters. So the electrical lines for that are underneath our sidewalks, and they are strong enough to make our meters go off.
Wow, that's
Absolutely
crazy.
no lasers on East Bay Street or Lodge Alley. Speaking of Lodge Alley, once we get in, spirit boxes need to be turned down. Reason why? It's a quiet area.
And that goes.
So, and it's a brief stop. So we're going to spend like 5 minutes there just so I can kind of give you a little bit more geographical layout of the land and what the things that I get from Lodge Alley are. You're going to actually kind of help lead the way. Once we get up to Lodge Alley, I'll be looking for you to take a few pictures before we all walk down it. We want empty pictures of the alley for light anomalies that might be popping through.
Okay.
So, everybody kind of on point of what's going on? Any more questions about the Pinckney family that I can answer in field before I do that tomorrow morning? All right. Good job, guys.
That's my question. My question was about the slaves, and you gave me the exact answer I know.
I can't prove anything about the slaves. There's a few of them mentioned in her letters, but those are first names only. So again, if I get a first name of them, I think I actually saved the list somewhere, so I have them. But I think there's only like 8 of them that she listed.
8?
8. You
that
asked.
she mentioned.
And you got the number 8.
And you'll be cross-referencing that with that list.
Of course I will.
Just double checking.
Of course I will.
You're on
All
top
right,
of it.
let's take a hike.
Appreciate you.
Here's an irony. How did they know Spanish on this in this part of the country?
Oh, I don't disagree, but he's standing right next to me. He's don't understand it, and I'm like, what the heck?
That's
I'm like, oh, can you only yelling at me?
why would she know that? I was just gonna say.
What's the steps?
Be careful with this.
Or if this was like, oh my god, we got so much stuff in this location.
Hey, watch me, people.
We go to the Waffle House.
Well, you're buying dinner, so I don't care.
That was never the bet, Charles.
You lost. You
No, we
lost.
never agreed to having a prize. I tried to give you multiple options for prizes.
lost. Those were not prizes, by the way.
They were prizes.
Mm,
It was more like
inappropriate based on the current status of said friendship.
Well, I was trying to get a reaction.
I know, you were trying to get a rise.
I was. Clearly, I failed.
Well, you know, can't get them all. Oh, you know that works both ways, right? And this is all recorded.
I really wouldn't have actually done that, just so you know.
Are you sure we can't stop at Mac's place?
For a burger.
Like a to-go order?
A burger and a beer.
Oh, I haven't heard that in a long time. Motherfucker.
Please tell me you tripped. That would be amazing.
No, I partially rolled my ankle.
While you tripped. Pick up your feet, child.
We just need to edit that part of the video. By the way, the brunch at High Cotton is good and reasonable.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Never been to High Cotton.
I bought myself once. It was a nice brunch date. What? I don't need anyone.
Period.
No, I'm not
Reminds me of
bi-curious.
Just reminds
Period.
me of the episode of How I Met Your Mother. Brunch for one couple? No, just one.
One big joke for
It doesn't depress me. I'm okay with it. I'm comfortable dating myself.
Hey, yo, mom.
¿Por qué? Yo no quiero.
Joe. Because he didn't go to the gym this morning, he figured they make it up for one.
Yeah, see? Not eating.
Get film.
The best fried chicken.
Are you recording?
Why did it so
We're walking now. Pick up your feet.
Oh. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, I went to Magnolia's, not High Cotton, by the way.
Yeah, Magnolia's is so good. Both of them are okay. I'm not a fan of High Cotton, but I like Magnolia's.
I went to both of them for brunch.
Fried chicken. Fried chicken.
No.
Fried chicken at Magnolia's is the bomb.
How you doing back there, Missy?
I give it up.
Okay.
Oh, sure. I could trouble.
You're doing great.
Dennis is Jackrabbit.
I'm just going ahead.
He was trying to assault me like a jackrabbit earlier.
Oh my gosh, you wish. I was trying.
Must I repeat some of the things you said?
I tried to like get a rise out of you.
You tried to get a rise out of me and failed.
No, I mean that.
Miserably. Crash and burn.
All right, Missy, did we hear any names along the way? Any names on yours, Tina?
She was too busy
I
talking.
got All Done Hair Architect. Christopher.
Possibility. So let me tell you where we are. When we crossed that last crosswalk coming down East 8th Street, that was where the
Emily.
original Charlestown Wall used to be. So it actually went up Cumberland Street. This is one of the first streets we ever had in Charleston. I bring you down here because I have the full list of residents of every person that's ever lived down here and their occupation, along with the year that they lived here. The names I normally get down here, probably about once a month, which is often, keep in mind, Benjamin and John. So they both lived here in 1801. That's 2 out of 5 people. It's pretty good odds when I hear the same names all the time together. If I don't get John's name specifically, I'll get his last name, which was Johnson. John Johnson. So again, very weird. So, I'm gonna let this couple pass through. You guys can come cut through.
I'm gonna sit down.
Oh, I charge extra for that.
Right where you're going.
We charge extra for that.
All right. Trying to go into the courtyard.
Catch you later.
Yeah, get the other way.
Hi guys. Watch your step in here.
Yeah, I almost ate it a couple times.
This is also where the Masonic Lodge was. We also get the return of our name Mason in here. We're talking about Freemasons. So that's why it's called Lodge Alley. It was a Masonic lodge. The building that you guys are leaning on, that's Lodge Alley Inn. Every hotel down here has a claim of those. Next summer, the wife and I are going to be touring all of the haunted rooms to see how legit they are. There'll be new podcast episodes. So, again, every week will be a new hotel. So it should be interesting. You have a new co-host on the podcast too. Sorry, I'm not going to sit here and talk about podcasts. We're here to hunt ghosts. So as far as the spirit box recordings and anything that shows up in the thermal imaging camera, we'll see what comes up when I review the evidence in the morning. If you got some pictures going down that way. Okay, so really what we're looking for here, the wife and I have explored this alley with different types of cameras, different lighting, all kinds of things. His camera does not have any flash on it on purpose. I don't want any false positives off windows, cars, anything like that. So hopefully you're being very still when you're taking those pictures, just because it will be blurry if he's not. I do capture light anomalies down here often, so that's a thing. And then I'll kind of give you the reason why we capture light anomalies, if we have any. So there's meaning to all of them based on their color, size, and shape. So I did a study on that as well. My whole job, guys, is nothing but paranormal stuff. I write books by day, and I take you guys ghost hunting so I can eat and buy new cars. So I'm going to be commenting like that all night long.
Are you adopting?
What's that?
Are you adopting?
No.
Dang it, I need a
Having
car.
no kids, thank you. So, and they're already practically grown. We're going to cut through the rest of this alley. We're going to be in a neighborhood. We're still in a no laser zone, so sorry, Kelly, you're still out of the game for a little bit. If you want to take touristy type pictures, pictures, one of the best things you can do is go along the right-hand side of this and get St. Philip's with the 2 old buildings on the side. It's a great picture if you want that. You are going to go learn a little bit of the legends and lore. Some of you locals may have heard some of these stories, but if you haven't, it's going to be stuff you should know about Charleston anyway. Last final investigation we'll do, just like at the Pinckney Mansion site, will be at the Powder Magazine looking through a kick-ass female pirate.
Boom,
So we're gonna
told
dive
you,
in- dive
Powder
into
Magazine.
Anne Moore. So it should be interesting
Huh.
if we actually capture this group since you guys are pretty lively. So
Wait, you got the word pirate?
No.
Yeah.
It's such in my head.
Oh.
It's a favorite word of hers.
It's an insert.
okay. Should be very interesting. All right. Are you guys ready to move on? All right, let's do this.
A pink hoodie. What did you say? So you know.
Estelle Polo.
Top sliders. Top sliders. Sparrows. Like Jack Sparrow.
Yeah. Arr. I've heard that a whole bunch of times today.
I bet.
Hey, we should ask the term wench at the Powder Magazine. That's not nice to show Richard that he's number one. Oh man. That would have knocked the wind out of you. And something like that, just grab onto it and hold on till you recover.
No, she's tasted you.
Who texted you though? Thinking that you would not have jumped in on it?
Oh, I
It was
know.
so perfect. I didn't even have to text you to say, hey, tag team, and you just jumped in like, go to dodgeball.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just watched Dodgeball 2 days ago, so I was like, that's like fresh on my mind. See, pirate. Arr.
She asked me a couple of times, oops, sorry. And I said that too, I was like, arr.
Yeah, she basically sits on top of me when we're sitting next to each other. Literally right there. Sorry. No, you did it. Sorry.
Huh?
Why am I doing a lot of stuff at the Quaker Cemetery with the King Rogers built on?
I don't think I've ever been there.
Ooh, what is that?
Really? Like the after the door thing?
Why brings us here?
Almost looks like a.
That's all the weird stuff. Door slams, brooms being moved,
You're
doors
weird.
never being opened.
All right, let's get those spirit boxes turned down. REM pod is off, so we're good there. So did you guys notice the gorgeous alley behind us?
Mm-hmm.
Technically, no doors are supposed to be down there because it is considered residential. So it's a very touchy area, and I will say that I didn't get caught going down there with my noisy groups. But that's the reason why we don't go down there anymore, but I still tell the story anyway. First off, where are we at with our word list? Let me see what other stories I have to tell here.
Bread, magic, aesthetic, deplete, Eric. Profession, internet, illusion, ignore. Camera, class, all done. Hair, architect, more, Christopher, Jack.
So, I heard all those. All right, so
The
the only one that's
pirate
significant to me
ignored
is
the
camera,
Who was
which
an
I'll tell that
architect
story too.
or
So,
Harry.
Jay, you look like you need a break, man. You all right?
Oh, he always looks ragged.
I'm used to going to AC to hot, AC to hot, AC
Welcome
to
to my work.
Okay, I can't say ratchet because that's not quite ratchet.
All right, so go ahead and turn your spirit box down if you can. Sorry, you having a hard time with it?
You know, electronics stuff.
Let me see.
I'm very hot.
Only where your mouth is.
What was the stimulator pattern?
All right, so the alley behind us, that is Philadelphia Alley. So it used to be called Duelers Alley. So that's where all of the duels for Charleston used to occur. If you guys look behind you, you don't need to get all the way up, but you'll see the doorway off in the distance in the wall. In the event that there was a loser from that duel, I'm getting attacked by whatever the fuck.
There's a body over there.
Is there a body over there?
Well, some girl walked by.
How you doing, bud?
8. The number 8.
That's interesting.
8 dueling pirates at the Powder Magazine
It's going to be related to the story.
over a winch.
I'll double check that before we leave. So the doorway you see behind you, that's when the loser, if there was one, they would pick him up, carry him over this courtyard, take him over to the cemetery, drop the body, then go celebrate the man. That's what that gate is there for. So I call it the death gate. Other tour guides don't normally tell you that little tiny tidbit to Charleston, but that's why. But we all tell the story of one specific duel. So the duel that we talk about is from a doctor, and it's only because we can prove
So I
it.
didn't say this. We're going to have like a death, war, and hunter.
War is related to Powder Magazine, and we already have magazine, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We like to say this.
Throat.
That would be Big John. Still probably 2.5 blocks away from Big John, who got shot in the neck. Alright, the doctor. He moves down here from Rhode Island. Okay? He's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Notice all these little key words I'm giving you. There's a lot of them. I don't expect applause. Expect reviews. No.
Smooth.
I know, you like that? Keeps me working. So, Rhode Island, yes. He moves down here because his fiancée, Amanda, just inherited a bunch of money.
Ooh,
Doctor-
she's single.
Hmm?
Nothing.
He's going to keep interrupting me, guys.
He is.
Yeah, he is. He would do
Anybody
that.
bring duct tape? You got duct tape in that bag?
Oh, yes.
How about if you talk for the rest of the play, you buy everybody.
Why don't we just make another
You're interrupting right now. You do know that, right?
Very true. Where was I? Amanda inherited a bunch of money, right? The attorney that was handling that money told her to send the doctor away. He thought that the doctor was just after cash. So he comes to Charleston from Rhode Island. He's dressed pretty dapper. He just graduated from med school. He's going to start his practice here. The coachman that brought him into town set him up to be robbed and killed. He looks like he's got cash. Let's rob him. Somebody walking by, his name is Ralph Isaacs. He also has the same initials from where the doctor came from, R.I. That's relevant because we're ghost hunters, we're not tour guides. So R.I. shows up here a lot. Ralph says, let me take you somewhere safe. He takes him to 59 Church Street. We're on Church Street now, obviously because of the giant church. So he has a now safe place to live. The two become friends, but the doctor's practice starts to take off. He's making lots of money. The hierarchy of Charleston, it's a little different back then. So him and Ralph are kind of friends on the sly. So they go see plays together. Oh, by the way, because he was making so much money, he became known as the Whistling Doctor. I'm sure you can see where this is going. So him and Ralph, they go see plays together, but they can't sit next to each other because the doctor is higher on the ladder. So they talk about the plays on the way home. They go see William III. I don't know which theater, no tour guide can tell you because there were dozens back then. They're talking about the actress on the way home, and the doctor loves her, Ralph doesn't. They start arguing. Then it turns into an insult party on the doctor's fiance Amanda back home in Rhode Island. Obviously they get pissed at each other, they go their separate ways. Ralph is from here, he's got friends at the newspaper. Calls him up, puts an ad in the paper about what a disgrace the doctor is to the city. He's not from here, he charges too much, all of these crazy things. The doctor sees it and rebuttals with, let's go to Dueler's Alley and settle this. So they come down, they take their 20 paces, they turn, the doctor points his gun in the air and he shoots, which is what often happened. He didn't want to kill his friend, he just wanted to make a point. Ralph still has his one shot, sorry. He puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. The doctor falls. He doesn't come through the death gate to go to his grave. His friends pick him up and carry him home to 59 Church Street. He dies 10 days later, probably from bleeding out. So, the number 8 is probably going to be the doctor's birthday. I want to say it's July 7th or 8th, just so you know. And we're getting very close to that date, which is next week. So, they say as you walk through the alley, you can hear the whistles from the doctor. This is a place where everybody's spirit box is down. You're going to use my audio to see if you hear the whistles. Do I have some that I can't debunk? Sure do, but it's a 50-50 shot because everybody knows the story down here. And there's a lot of hecklers that go down the sides of the alley throwing a couple of whistles.
Way to go.
Exactly. So you can usually tell which ones are heckles and which ones aren't. Do I have the word whistle that came through on spirit boxes several times? I do. The word whistle as I'm telling this story. It's very weird and uncanny to say the least. We also had the word camera show up, right? Was it camera? Yeah. So let me tell you what the story that they're telling up there. It's very brief. They drag it out for 10 minutes. I'm not going to do that.
Thank you.
There's a sign right inside St. Philip's Cemetery that says, there's no ghost here but the Holy Ghost. There's a reason why that sign is there.
I love it.
1888, a young lady dies. Her name is Sue Howard Hardy, 6 days after her stillborn child. 1987, local photographer with a camera is taking pictures of all the cemeteries. He's putting a book together.
No, go ahead.
He captures a full apparition. A woman wearing a shawl and a baby basket next to her. Now, it's 1987. No cell phones, no Photoshop, none of that stuff. He has to send it off to Kodak to get it debunked. They can't debunk the picture either. The photo is also cursed. We're going to let some of these people pass through. It looks, oh, we're going to be courteous. So, that picture's cursed. Females that hold the picture, you're going to get the same symptoms I told you guys about, like a big jaundice. That's why I don't pass it around. Females that are pregnant holding the picture, you're probably not going to have a good pregnancy based on the gist of the story. So as you can imagine, with my occupation, I'm very superstitious. If we have, well, we do have evidence, we have camera. So I will relate that to, that was the inspiring word for me to tell you that story. I will send you a link. It will have a heated warning on it. Do not handle it on your phone, females. Have somebody else show it to you or look at it on a computer.
David.
No. Nothing that I can think about the top
Figure
of my head.
came up, so maybe the figure.
Wait, why can't they handle it?
Figure 8.
Figure 8.
Oh, first.
It is cursed.
Figure 8.
Yeah. I just don't know where that ties in.
The
Last but
8th?
not, I gotta look at the dates, because those I don't have memorized. Before we start going into the female pirate, let's get your mindset on pirates. Do you guys see the blinking gas lamp in the background down there? That's the pirate house. Has a big anchor on the front. Don't go in his backyard. He gets pissed. Don't ask me how I know. So, looking for ghosts. This guy does not like me. But anyway, that's where Blackbeard's men would come off their ships, and they would have a place to sleep, meet with a few ladies, and of course, have a few drinks. So, they also dug a tunnel from the pirate house 1 block away over to Dock Street Theater. Dock Street Theater is labeled as one of the top 10 haunted locations in America. Do I have that proof? I do not. I have my own theories about the place, but it has a shit ton of history. But they did that so that they can actually work for a few days in the theater. It was actually called planters back then. They would work in the theater because pirates tie really good knots. So they would work backstage, make a few bucks in between bartering with the locals. So again, it was also a whorehouse, so you can put 2 and 2 together if you like. We're all adults here, so I can kind of, I don't have to keep it PG tonight, which is cool. All right, you guys ready to
That's
go?
why he's mad. Everyone's coming for a good time.
Yeah.
That's why who's mad?
The guy, the pirate house.
Oh. You lost me. All right,
It's early in the morning.
break's over, guys. Let's get back to work. We're gonna go across the street.
Did you say boning?
Boning.
Oh,
Although that would check out.
right?
Oh ho 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 ho.
What'd you call her? Can't believe you called Tina that. At least call her a wench. It's a great inside joke. I'll show you pictures.
Alright.
Oh, I'm supposed to be watching this thing. My bad.
This car, and I'm like, I don't know if I can car randomly downtown. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of creepy. I'm just thinking, I think it's fucking hilarious.
She said, love your shoes.
Oh, thank you. Not paying attention at all. Sorry.
It's okay. So it's gonna start talking to this guy that likes to dress up. It's a parrot.
Oh, that's spectacular.
And he was on the news, so we're like, horror all day. And then we put that one from dodgeball. Yeah, she's been pretty pissed all day. That's why I was silent for 30 minutes.
Cotton candy weed.
So sweet.
Would love that. I just love a little bit right now. God damn.
We're gonna change that after I tell the story. We don't want to start recording until we're done. Just so we get a good one. Alright, so welcome to yet another parking lot.
I'm gonna know places I can actually park downtown now.
So
Stores in the parking lot.
I've had people accidentally texting when I text them the link to all of their data. They think that they're forwarding it over to the other person in their party, and they say, here's the stories in the parking lot stuff. I get that all the time. So again, hopefully none of you feel that way. None of you seem like you are. It's the only reason why I'm bringing it up. So, a couple of things you should know about the cemetery behind me. It is the other half of St. Philip's. So for you history buffs,
Bloody.
oh, that could be just normal terms. We're going to be talking about foreigners. They use that as an adjective a lot. So, the side of the cemetery that we were on is for native Charlestonians only. John Calhoun's buried over here because they moved his sarcophagus several times. They didn't know where the hell he was supposed to go. So you can visit this site during the daytime for my tourists of the group. Sorry, locals, you guys probably already knew that.
Nope.
But we're going to be talking about the powder magazine. So let's talk a little bit about geography, because that's always fun, right? So I showed you guys where the Charlestown Wall was. This is Cumberland Street. It came right up Cumberland Street, about half a block past the powder magazine, and started going south towards the battery. So it's literally tucked into the corner of where the original Charlestown Wall used to be. Why? Because if it gets hit by cannon from the water 3 blocks away, it's going to be hard to penetrate the 32-inch thick walls that are there. But let's say it does. There's sand in the roof from 1712. It's still there. The sand doesn't disintegrate. If the explosion happens with the gunpowder inside, it's supposed to blow the sand up, and the sand falls to put out the fire. That shit don't work. So, just saying, we have another powder magazine that was built the exact same way, closer to the battery, and the sand went up and was unable to put out the fire. The whole place burned to the ground. So, this place has never been attacked, although it did serve in 7 different wars. The last one being the Civil War. So that kind of gives you a gist of how old it is. This is also the oldest government building on the East Coast.
Touch me. That's only the first
Square.
square peg in a round hole.
Well, you know, you gotta just make it happen sometimes. I didn't
yours
touch
is
it.
already on. Camera. All right, guys, spread out. Let's see what we can capture.
Where's Birdie?
Over on the wall.
It just says it on there, yeah.
Right. Remember this, those are apartments.
He arrived with gold.
In haste.
In haste. In the fog.
In the fog in his prison.
And it was bloody.
And it was June. Pretty cool. 48 was a spot.
Alright.
He's a gem.
You know how you would level up his chair? We could give you some water for him. Whichever comes in.
Right now.
Oldest government buildings, and it doesn't look like they really take care of it. What's the point of our tax dollars? You're a bastard.
Did you find a tree?
I found a freaking spider web. The cannon is hot. Probably because it's metal and it's been warm all day.
Yeah. Got a lot of activities.
The bench is warm. The table's warm.
Now we got one before the 4th of July.
Yeah. So it could be a heavy year. I got a feeling. So, yeah. We're familiar. We don't get hit as often, but I'm from Houston, so
Yeah. Oh,
Houston gets hit pretty good. But yeah. Oh yeah.
It's funny how small it seems.
The building?
Yeah. That was your powder magazine. Like, that's not very big.
What is a powder magazine? Where they store the gunpowder?
Yeah.
So that was a big old explosion waiting to happen.
If it got hit.
Anything on yours?
If you're saying 32-inch thick walls, that's...
Bells? Bells.
Ship's
Church
bells.
bells.
Ah, church bells.
Her church bells or the word bells?
No, her church bells.
Interesting. So,
And then underground.
2 weeks ago, every tour that I did had something of a religious nature. Priest, church, holy. All of these things, every time I turned that corner, I had something that was
Church related.
church related, something religious.
Yeah,
So,
it's church bells.
very cool. So how many videos am I gonna have? Just the 2?
Cool.
I don't remember even touching the button. But yes, I think you'll have to. My bad.
I just need to know.
I'm glad you caught that.
Always watch.
That must have been when I switched hands.
So one of the things that's happened to me here with this, I had a small group, so the person with the red spirit box was standing next to me. You're the camera person. A white film comes over them in the screen, and then the spirit box stopped working. We walked away 10 feet, it started working again on record. Like crazy shit. Like, to me, like, that's like, oh my god, what the hell just happened? Because it takes 3 buttons to get that thing to go to record again. Like, I literally have to manually push 3 buttons to get it to go to record. It was back on record. It didn't record as one unit, 2 separate audio files, but I was just like, it's the craziest thing.
Yeah.
And the white film wasn't over me, it was just over them.
Huh.
It was like these weird, like, lines. I mean, it looked digital. You know what I mean? Like old school, like white snow on a TV. Kind of weird stuff. But yeah, just came, boom, stopped working. This is a weird lot. Because I was just telling them I either get a ton or I get nothing. But they're capturing quite a bit. They got the color green while we're shining the green light down, so I have to look at those pictures.
Hot.
You just make sure that way you can't.
Too big.
Oh.
I was just saying this.
What? You want me to lie to you?
What is the name
Zach
of
Vegas?
that calico ship? Okay,
Don't be Zach. We don't like Zach Bagans.
No, he does.
No, because he...
Oh, he likes them.
Yeah, he does like it.
What happened in Cuba?
Now you gotta think another one. Maybe you should have this.
Who are you running away from?
Did you marry Mary? Or marry Reed, right?
What's her name? Say her name.
Fuck.
Go ahead and
Give me the answers. I want to know. No? You're not gonna answer that one? Yeah, that's fair enough.
It's a lady show.
The lady never told,
Pirate?
but she was a pirate.
Yeah, I was gonna say. She hung out, you know, poorhouse, so.
She got around.
Huh?
She did get around.
Yeah?
Hey, get around. How many lovers did you actually have?
That's a good question, too. What do you got? Just scan.
So read the room. I'm just
Anything going nuts on yours?
nothing.
Mine's dead.
Like I said, it's normally a dead zone.
That's why I'm just talking.
Alright. And you got some video for us at the front?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I got the number 7 just now.
7?
That relevant?
What's how many lovers she had?
Oh, I'm sure she had more than
Her
that.
kids. How many kids did you say she had?
5 that I know of.
That you know of.
One
How
in
many
Cuba,
kids did
4
you
after.
have?
Again, it's all speculation. I'm talking.
After
Reluctant.
Cuba.
Don't be reluctant. Be our friend.
What happened in Cuba?
Stays in Vegas.
What happened to the baby? Bob?
Except, what did the dad say in Hangover? Was it chlamydia?
Yeah.
Were you pregnant?
Or she just wanted to get off the ship. She was there with those
Since he
stupid
was a
men.
loser.
Honestly, I would be.
Be like,
No,
I
she wanted to be there. It was a matter of was she pregnant when she saw the judge. Like, that's the question. Because her and Mary were both planning to be pregnant at the same time.
Were you pregnant when
That's
you
an
were
interesting level in vitro session.
What? I already guessed.
94.
I already guessed before that.
Possibility. That's why we're recording.
Okay, cool. Let me know what happens.
I will.
yes, yes, or yes in Spanish.
That's the point.
See.
And I've gotten Spanish terms here before, just because of where they were. They were in Nassau, they were in Jamaica, they were in Cuba, they were all over South America. So I had Isla here before.
Habla español.
That's yes or no.
Oh. Dime algo en español.
Tú entiendo español.
I haven't been getting any Spanish on this from what I've heard.
Alright, I say we move down there so I can start collecting since everything seems to have slowed down. And then I'll get you guys my card and we'll kind of figure out the rest of it. Where did you guys park at?
Over there.
Oh, so you're going to go right to the street.
So you're proving,
You can help
proving to me
me.
that you're not part of that.
Alright.
Well, if you hang out with your guys,
That's what matters.
Yeah, I'm the best.
All we can do is try our
Charles
best.
is a goodie.
That's what I mean.
The new bag is not as
Don't lie to people.
as the last bag. I'll take it for you. Oh, now we're up to 3.2.
Oh, are we done?
Oh, look at that. Mine jumped too.
We're also close to a building. So kind of have to take that into
There's an
perspective
air
when the
conditioner.
Big giant wall is in between us.
What's in there now?
It's a museum.
It's a museum.
It's a museum. Has all the uniforms from all the different wars that it served.
Yeah, I know.
Very cool stuff.
I will say bye.
I was just verifying.
All right. Where do we want next? Let's go with the camera. 2 videos. Not 2.